Well, that was certainly an ordeal, wasn't it? Being in that dreamlike area and then being talked to by these strange beings who seem to want to destroy us. It sort of got me thinking, like, why would they deem it necessary to come and try and talk to us and taunt us? It's either one of, well, maybe multiple possibilities, but the two which I can think of is either one, it's plot relevant for them to reveal themselves and be menacing, or two, they are actually scared that we might accomplish our goal of stopping this cataclysm happening, and they're trying to psych us out of it. And well, that's just my thoughts at least. So,
Thank Malphus. I was starting to think I was the only one. How are you? You look exhausted.
So what? Yes, I had a dream, a nightmare. Smiling, shock of shocks. I am. Ah, I see, Lopai. You're trying to, you naughty man, Lopai. Oh, you. This is Kim. You found Kim, have you? Is this Kim, Lopai?
Of course. Sorry. That remark was a little redundant. But it's good to see the Grandmaster was right after all. I woke up just a few hours earlier, and he was here in the meantime. He didn't doubt for a single second that you would make it. But I suppose mutual congratulations are in order. We made it. We passed the trial.
So, does that make us keepers now?
Almost, yes. All that is left to do is to take the oath, and then Grandmaster Aranthiel will exalt us to the keepers of the first sigil. Speaking of whom, he also told me some things while you were asleep. About the Pyreans, about these dreams, and of course, about this cycle.
Oh shit.
This is so bizarre, really. At first we're told out of nowhere that the gods have died, and now humanity is on the brink of extinction. This is a lot to take in.
The death of Lap was the best thing that could have happened to mankind. Oh, that's just mean. I figured, what do you make of this cycle, this cleansing?
Hard to say. I never had those dreams the Grandmaster talked about, even though I'm magically gifted. But then again, I always had the feeling that the Red Madness was more than an ordinary disease. Well, I suppose all of this explains a lot. At least now I can understand why the Grandmaster was willing to break all the traditions of the Order just to get you exalted to be a keeper. According to him, most of our battle against the cycle will stand or fall with you.
Seriously. A lot for me to take on, isn't it? I wish I could say that with the same conviction as him. To be honest, I don't really think I've understood all of what's happening to me yet.
Yes, I believe that. It's a great responsibility you've been given. And as impressive as your skills are, I would not want to change places with you.
I just find it very strange that he deemed to tell her about the dreams and prophecy. She's not even a keeper yet, but I suppose that all the keepers know about the dreams then? Well, they probably do, because it'll be stupid to keep it a secret, I suppose, when the brink of humanity is at stake. So what's the next step?
Well, as I said, we both have to take the Holy Oath. You should talk to the Grandmaster as soon as you're ready. He's waiting for you in the Emporium.
We both. What about Dunoir? Yeah, what about Dunoir? I saw him lying there.
Right. Dunoir. The apothecary examined him about an hour ago, and it doesn't look good. It's likely that he'll never wake up again.
Shit. Okay, so he can be spiteful. Maybe a little self-control would have done him some good. He was a simple-minded fool. It would have surprised me if he had passed. He would die? He doesn't deserve that. Yeah, I feel like... Then he killed that guy for no reason, but... Lord Pie still doesn't want him to die, does he? He doesn't deserve to die, does he? No, he doesn't.
No, in spite of everything. You know, Dunwar was one of those people who tried to gild their insecurity with boastful behavior. The reality is that he was the last of his bloodline, and his faith in the path and his destiny as a keeper were all that he had left. And who knows? Maybe he would have been a great help to the Order with the right guidance. But I guess Master Bartar's revelation was just too much for him. It's hard to be told that everything you've lived for was a lie.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Character, okay. Come to know Kalia better. Well, I mean, why not? Character. You don't seem to be too shaken up over all of this. The death of Lightborn, I mean.
Well, maybe I just don't show it as much. But yes, in a way, you're probably right. I suppose that's mainly due to the fact that to me, as opposed to Dunwar, the Order always stood for an idea. And an idea doesn't die with the one who first thought of it. Funny that the Grandmaster said nearly the same thing during the exaltation. Dunwar would have considered it blasphemy.
Talk about the Lightborn and their ideas if they wouldn't have cost thousands of lives. As if they wouldn't have cost thousands of lives. Lives, not lies. Well, there's probably a lot of lies there as well. They weren't as benevolent as you make them out to be.
That's true. A lot of crimes were committed during the Lightborn's reign, and I don't want to minimize that. But I also think a lot of those crimes were unavoidable, so to speak. Imagine you're the king of a small island, and one day your realm gets attacked by a fleet of Scarab Reavers. The invasion catches you completely off guard, and within a few hours, the Reavers have advanced to the farmland, just a few feet from your city's main gates. And before you know it, you have to make a decision. Will you use the time that remains to entrench your army within the city's walls to have a better chance of surviving a siege? Or do you send them into the field to fight the Reavers there, knowing that there is only a slight chance to save the farmers, but a big risk that you will lose both the city and the farmers?
Oh shit, woman? I'm no tactician. But I feel like the peasant folk... Oh, that's a hard decision to make, okay. Let's see, so I'll take my chances in open field. If I didn't at least try, the farmer's blood would be on my hands. I'd draw back into the city. Better to have a big chance to save the entire realm than a small one to save a handful of farmers. It is an interesting decision tactically, and I suppose as a ruler you would probably entrench your army in the city to have a better chance of surviving, and while the rest of the population that's in the city would survive, or in your fortress, or in the city. So it's unfortunate the farmers will die, but it makes more sense because you don't know what the Scar are going to do when they get to the city. They'll probably just pillage and kill everyone and enslave everyone that's left, so tough luck to be farmers, I suppose.
That's one way to see it, yes. But what if your foray would have succeeded? What if you could have prevented the massacre in the farmlands? What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter what you do. There will be people who will despise you for your decision. If your attempt to rescue the farmers fails, you will be accused of having acted blindly and idealistically. And if you just stay in the city, they will say you didn't even try. Of course, there's a small chance the foray might work, but should decisions like that really be made as if they were a game of dice? As I said, I don't mean to absolve the Lightborn of their crimes, but I'd wager my left hand that they had a lot of similar decisions to make.
God damn it, Kalia. You're really smart. I like you. Interesting thought. Speaking of Dunwar, what was the thing at the ritual place all about? Called you a witch?
I knew the question would come eventually. I suppose the answer depends on whether you're in the mood for some gloomy talk. Sooner or later you'll hear it from someone else anyway, so why not from me first?
Or why not from the horse's mouth? I shouldn't have asked if I weren't. I wouldn't have asked if I weren't interested. Shoot.
As you wish. Where should I start? Maybe with the fact that I don't remember anything that happened before my 6th winter. I don't know where I was born, and I never got to know my parents.
You don't remember? How come?
I wish I knew. What I do know, though, is that the first memory I have is of waking up in the middle of some village. It was dark, and I felt dizzy and, I don't know, empty? That's probably the best way to describe it. I eventually found the strength to get up and look around, and, well, that's when I realized what was actually going on around me.
What?
The entire village. It had been destroyed. There were corpses everywhere. Men, women, children. And the houses had been crushed as if some mad god had rampaged through the streets there. And it had all just happened hours before because the destruction was still fresh. Whatever it was, I didn't have much time to think about it. As soon as I got up, I saw 3 riders coming through the smoke. One of them got off his horse, ran towards one of the corpses, and started screaming something in my direction. Then I felt a blow on the back of my head, and I lost consciousness. By the name of the sun, it's strange to talk about it like this. It's been so long, but the memory feels as if it had happened yesterday.
I figured. Little pie, don't be a sensitive prick. Why did those men attack you?
Well, it turned out the riders were hunters who had come from that village. They must have observed the whatever it was from the distance and ridden back to the village. At least I think that's how it went. I guess I'll never find out. The reason they thought I was somehow involved is that the village priest found me a couple of days before it happened near a shrine in the wilderness. Apparently, I was wearing torn clothing, and no matter what the apothecary tried, he couldn't wake me up from my comatose sleep. And it seems that made the riders think I was some kind of witch child, or unholy beast, whichever you prefer.
Oh, okay. You're saying you were found somewhere, brought into the village, and then the village got destroyed by something which is most possibly your powers, and the riders were... Yep, okay, right, gotcha. They really thought a 6-year-old child destroyed an entire village. That's ridiculous.
For you, maybe. For them, as simple people, it was probably the best explanation they had. And think about it, it's not that far off. A motherless child who neither talks nor breathes steadily is found abandoned on the roadside and has a strange mark on her face. They leave to go hunting, and when they come back, they find their village in ruins with that foundling child being the only survivor. You have to admit, it's not that much of a stretch, even if those men hadn't been superstitious farmers.
I see. And these men wanted to do what, exactly? Take revenge?
Probably. Truth be told, I try not to think about it too much. And actually, it doesn't matter, because I somehow managed to get away before they could do anything. I even made it to Ark all by myself, which didn't turn out to be much of an improvement in the end because I was pathless.
They brought you into the Undercity, right?
Yes. Thinking about it now, I actually wonder how I made it through my time down there. But maybe that's one of the advantages of being a child. You don't think. You just act. Still, the winters down there were cruel, and if Master Tyrus hadn't found and taken care of me, I probably wouldn't have made it through my 2nd year.
Master Tyrus? Keeper adopted you?
Yes, otherwise I would not be here. He saw me, and he knew what he had to do, is how he put it. Of course, the Order wasn't too happy about a pathless child in the Scuola, just as some aren't happy about you being here. But Tyrus was a highly regarded man, and that's why they let it slide.
So he just saw you and decided to adopt you. That sounds too good to be true, to be honest. Why is the Order so preoccupied about Pathless trying to get into their ranks? It's not like we both don't have our reasons. And then we can move the conversation on. So we can ask these two questions, that's good.
It does, yes. But then he had lost both his wife and daughter 5 years before he found me, so maybe I was some kind of substitute. I don't know. But in the end, it doesn't matter. I owe him everything. He was a good man, and that's all that matters.
Why is the Order so preoccupied?
That's right, we do. But we are both still pathless, and that disqualifies us according to the holy verses. I guess now you understand why I was never as connected to Malphas's teaching as Dunwar was. To some of the Keepers, I am still an outcast, and no matter what I do, I always will be.
And it's just so dumb. Can't you find the path? So Master Taras granted you the Novocate.
Yes, and now I'm here. Well, here we've reached the end of my impressive tale. I hope you liked it.
Oh, thank you. You're definitely not the fisherman's daughter from the village. I'll give you that.
No, I guess I'm not.
That's all you want to say? What happened to Master Taras? Where is he now?
Gone. He was very old, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. But I'd prefer not to talk about it, if you don't mind.
That's fair enough. So that means Dunois believes that this... So that means that Dunois believes that this story about you being responsible for the destruction of the village is actually true.
He does, yes, and he's not alone in his opinion. One of those hunters recognized me in the market my first year as a novice, and you can imagine that it was easy pickings for those who were already against my presence in the Order. From then on, they added names to the derogatory stares. Demon Child, Witch, whatever they could come up with.
I feel like the second one's a bit better. I saw your skills and you're the one who made it through the trial. The way they treat you probably has more to do with jealousy than anything else.
Maybe, but everything I'm capable of is the fruit of hard work, though they will never acknowledge that. You know what's funny? To some extent, I'm glad to be who I am. That way, people just leave me alone, and that gives me more time to focus on what's important, on my goals.
Which would be?
Several, but I'd say that's enough of the gloomy stories, don't you think? There will be plenty of time for chatter in the future. Maybe.
I hope so, you're cool. So we can chat more about Dunois. Was he the last... Dunois was the last of his bloodline?
Yes. All of the Dalmordans fell victim to the great flesh maggot plague of 8215. Actually, it was almost sad to see him running around and boasting about his nobility, though everyone knew that without the help of the Order, he would have probably ended up living in a shack in the Undercity. If you can call that living.
Let's talk later. Should go see the Grandmaster now.
You should. It's already late, but if you want, I can show you the most important places in the temple before you go to the Emporium. What do you think?
That would be nice.
Good. Then get your gear from the chest by your bed and we'll go.
Something Momentous Part 3. You took everything.
Now then, let's go.
I'm a bit encumbered for some reason. Actually, no, I think I'm just, most likely just walking rather than anything else. Light spells, elementrum spells, backpack, lantern, Kim's sword. Hopefully remembered all my... Yeah, it seems to have... Did I say Kim's sword? I meant to say Kor's sword. Might be. Alright, darling. So you're gonna show me around the temple, which I've already looked around myself, but I'm okay with being a history lesson, actually, because I just looked at it. I didn't have much of a history lesson to it.
Alright, this is the sanctum. It's a place of silence and prayer, and also where we'll be exalted later.
Cool.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
This is holy ground, Outlander. You do not belong here.
Holy crap, that guy's got the red madness.
Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor, in life as in death.
Oh shit. Mm-hmm. Walk blessed, my sir.
Thanks. I lost Kim. Oh, there she is.
Blessed.
Thanks. Blessed walk. Ooh, alchemy. Kim, I'll be with you in a second. I just gotta do some things.
Oh shit. I have to remember that.
We did a lot of alchemy today.
I thought, well, never mind. And by the way, have you seen this new Nehrim's mage woman? Pegas, or whatever her name was.
Okay, I think you've seen this place before. We call this part of the temple the Chronicum, and in here is gathered the knowledge of the Order, written down in books and parchments. Plus, all of the experiments and research on artifacts and magic is done here. So it's a place you'll probably see often in the near future. Ah, and just below the Chronicum is the temple smithy. You should go there if you need equipment. Over there, that's the Scuola and the quarters, where both the keepers and the novices live. There's also a training room where everything from swordplay to marksmanship can be trained and taught. You will find some skilled teachers there. Well, I think that's about it. You've already been to the Emporium, and I assume to the Eye of the Gods as well. I suggest you speak to the Grandmaster as soon as you're ready to take the oath.
Fair enough. What will you do?
Prepare myself, probably. Now walk blessed. I will see you soon.
I thought, well, never mind. And by the way, have you seen this new Nehrim's mage woman? Pegas, or whatever her name was.
Where is she off to?
Yes?
That's funny, she's just like, just walks off and... Oh no. She's just wandering now. Fair enough. Well, I suppose, I survived the trial. All Kalia and I have to do now is take the Holy Oath, which is promoting us to keepers of the first signet. I should talk to Tilo Ranthiel in the Emporium. Before I do that, I prefer to do that during the day.
Where's this supposed to lead us?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But don't worry so much. I'm certain the Grandmaster knows what he's doing. Now go, before the Magister comes.
My God, they've been doing that forever.